Hey everyone, it's Lauren here, and we're working on a quick mixed media layout because I remembered that I put some mixed media onto this pattern paper. So in one of the previous videos I used some of the gloss spray, the pink one obviously, to mix into some modelling paste and through the circle stencil from last month's mixed media kit, and I had some leftovers, so I put it in these three spots on this beautiful rainbow pattern paper. So I've just got a pile of photos here, and I'm going to pull out 3 photos of this little story where I was trying to take a selfie on the way out for a night out with the ladies, and Oliver got in the way of a selfie. So then that made for some funny photos, and just shows his personality and the fun we have together. So it was a nice little moment to scrapbook and keep as a record. So I print my photos lately on A4 glossy photo paper that was from Kmart, but I haven't. Have I been to Kmart since? Or maybe I just haven't been to that section. They had it reduced, and I thought they might be on a clearance actual price. So I'm hoping that's not the case, because it's quite cheap for 150 pieces of paper. You can get gloss paper and matte paper through that brand. So hopefully they have not gotten rid of that. Anyway, tangent. So I've got the 3 photos. I did turn my paper around because I figure I'm going to have the dots going down the page and have the 3 photos at the top rather than them going across in the middle in between the dots of the stencil. And I'm just working on picking out one of these titles from these lovely stickers that we got in the kit, and I'm going to spell out seriously with a question mark and a exclamation mark, and that's going to be great. So I did think about seriously awesome, but that changes the tone of the title. So I think seriously with the question mark and exclamation mark is perfect for this thing. It did need some things to go behind the photos, so I'm going to audition some items. So first I've got the doily that we got in the collection, and I'm having a look at this little cut apart sheet to see if there's anything on there that I want, and then I'm going to check out the other pattern papers. I do decide on another rainbow strip of colour pattern paper, which has thicker bold stripes of colour, and then this wood grain one, but I do turn that wood grain over to use the ledger paper, ledger lined paper instead. So just ripping this, because ripping is the best way to use pattern paper in my eyes anyway. I'm just going to cut down that little strip so that we don't I didn't want it end to end. Sometimes I want pattern paper from from left to right to cover it, but I didn't. I wanted a bit of space. I really like that pattern line in the background. So I'm just working out, this is where I work out that the wood grain is just too dark for the 2 pattern rainbow coloured stripes. It looks alright, but not with the background. It would look, those 2 layers of pattern paper, behind the photos would look good on, say, a different pattern paper or a blank cardstock with maybe a little bit of mixed media, but it wasn't right for this one. Luckily, it had the perfect paper on the background with the ledger paper. I was going to fix up that tear a little bit more. It was a bit more taller on one end than the other, and I was not liking the amount of space it was taking. And I finally turn it over, and it doesn't take me long to go, yep, it's done. That's the way it needs to be. So just going to stick that down, and then through the power of editing, we're going to come back with the photos stuck down. Ta-da-ta-da. I do put them more to the right than I probably initially had thought that's what I was going to do, but in the end it doesn't matter. It's something noticeable. Ripping the doily in half, because there's nothing like ripping a doily in half to make it look to go a bit further and make it look like it's up the top and the bottom. So I'm going to put this one up the top, and then I will put the other one down the bottom. And again, with the power of editing, we're going to come back and that is stuck down. There we go. I'm just working out where to put this doily, but ultimately I do put it down the bottom. A little bit of tape, nothing crazy. So I'm going to get set on embellishing after I glue down this title. Now these titles are quite sticky really, but I decided to just use some wet glue to make sure it is stuck down, and it's probably something I need to be doing more when I'm sticking down titles. Sometimes I do it, and other times like it's very obvious in the time that it needs to be done, and other times I'm very trusting of the adhesive on the letters. Anyway, I love this title. The colour is just perfect, and it just fits, nestles in very perfectly on those photos, and the tail of the Y on the end fills in that space of those photos. Put on the dot, and then I will put on the question mark and the exclamation mark. So, who's having fun with their August Kitaholic Kits? This is, I've done quite a few layouts this month, and made some DIY embellishments and some DIY tags, and that was a lot of fun, and I still, as always, have a lot more supplies left even after half a dozen. I think I've done more than half a dozen. 7 or 8 maybe. Layouts plus the DIY embellishments and the DIY tags. So I'm definitely creating my little butt off. Fight with the little dot of the exclamation mark because it's so tiny, and why wouldn't you be fighting with the placement of it? And here, like literally it could be left just like that. Like it does not need anything more looking at it now. I love it. So I am going to, though, it's me, we are definitely going to add in some embellishments. So first I'm going to add in these tags. No, it's a label, sorry. I'm going to add in that label from the sticker sheet, and then some of these words. So the good thing about using the rainbow pattern paper is that you can get away with all the colours are in the kit. Sometimes when you're using certain pattern papers or certain layouts that are coming together, you can be a little bit limited on what you can use. The only thing that's limiting is the phrases that are on the sticker sheet, but not limiting much at all because I get a few of these word stickers on. We will come back up into screen in a second, sorry about that. Trying to get used to this little setup, and I need to get a new mat because that white background is annoying the bejeebus out of me. Okay, so we've added some journaling just about how he is a lot of fun and had photobombed my selfie. And I've got this boring, and then I put the sticker no way, and that just is a little bit of fun. Boring? It's like question mark. No way as the answer. Sometimes little things like that are a little bit more funny than they need to be, or I mean like that they are. So sometimes, you know, you can have a little chuckle about things, whereas other people don't even, it's just like, oh yeah, whatever. Anyway, these are the DIY tags that I made. So I'm just auditioning a couple. I go through all of them so you can see, quick look at them. I do think about these two being the right ones. I didn't want two together, but I was thinking one or the other would be right. So I fight with these little stickers. It's no fun to take stickers off doilies, but I got there. Just a little rip there, but I am going to put that tag. So it's all good. So I'm just going to put those stickers to the side. I really do want to still use them, but they're in the way at the moment. So I'm just going to chuck this one on here. I'm going to add some black and white twine because it's a tag and we need to have that little texture to complete that look. I just folded it over and tucked it in and put the strings through the loop. And I'm going to cut them down, and I'm going to use double-sided tape to stick it down. Nice thick tape so that it sticks smoothly to the pattern paper background. I thought if I used wet glue, it might have not sat as neatly. I'm just going to nestle that under the tag. No, yeah, the label, sorry, tag. It is a tag. So many words, so confused. And that just looks really cool. It's a nice extra embellishment. Extra cool. Extra, no, what I'm saying. What am I trying to say, guys? Extra thing to look at. Mixed media. I love that there's a lot of mixed media going on there. Actually, it's quite a fun tag. So there we go. I moved that boring no way up the top. I was thinking it needed something up here and it was going to be too busy down the bottom. So I'm then going to check out the die cut flowers that we got in one of the embellishment packs, and just going to have a play with putting some flowers down the bottom to fill in this space, and then just a little bit up the top to bring the flowers to the top and make your eyes move around the page to see all the goodness. These flowers are just pretty. I was really wanting to just make a layout just with all the flowers, but then I didn't want them to just be on one page. I wanted them to be on multiple pages and have that softness and that beautiful watercolor flower look shared around. There we go. Especially because at the moment I'm just working on some random photos, so then not necessarily, some are, but not all of them going to be in order in the album. Sometimes it's really cool sometimes to know when you're looking through the album what you were using at the time and what was appealing. Sorry, just needed a drink before I coughed. I'm going to use the gloss sprays, so just using the back of that sticker sheet to cover those photos, and I am using the nozzle to make some purposeful splats or circles or dots, and then some random smaller ones, using both the blue and the pink that we got in the collection. So if you make the colour pool up on the bottom and touch the nozzle to the paper lightly, it makes those purposeful spots. And that's the layout done. So here comes the close-ups, and hopefully this has inspired you to get creating and have some fun with your kit yourself. Have a great night, guys. Bye.